Hey everyone, it's Mrs. C and welcome back to Math Defined. Today we're talking about something super useful, the percent proportion. This simple equation can help you find parts, wholes, and percents in real-life situations. Let's break it down. Let's start with what the percent proportion actually is. It's a special proportion that helps you find a part, a whole, or a percent. It looks like this. Is over of equals percent over 100. We call this the is over of ratio. Why? Because in a percent problem, is stands for the part and of stands for the whole, and percent is always out of 100. Let's use this proportion to find parts, wholes, and percents. First up, let's find the part when we know the percent and the whole. What number is 20% of 80? The key to using the percent proportion is to identify which numbers represent the part, the whole, and the percent. In this statement, the percent is easy to see, 20%. 20% written as a ratio is 20 over 100. Now we need to determine which values represent the part and the whole, which isn't always easy to do. We'll use the ratio is over of to help us out. Remember, is represents the part and of represents the whole. Let's look for these two words in the given statement. What number is? We'll use the variable x to represent this missing part. Then 20% of 80. So we'll write the ratio x over 80. Pretty easy. Now we just solve for x. From my previous videos, you know that there are 3 different strategies that we can use to solve for x. Since x is in the numerator, I'm going to use multiplication for this one. We'll multiply each side by 80. The 80s cancel each other out, leaving x equals. Multiplying 20 over 100 by 80 over 1 is 1600 over 100. We'll simplify this improper fraction by dividing 100 into 1600, resulting in 16. So 16 is 20% of 80. Let's try another one. What number is 0.4% of 40? The percent is 0.4%. And the ratio is 0.4 over 100. The word is represents the part, and we'll use x to represent it. The word of represents the whole, and the ratio will be written as x over 40. To solve for x, we'll use cross multiplication this time. 100 times x is 100x, and 40 times 0.4 is 16. Now to isolate the x, we will divide both sides by 100. On the left, the 100s cancel each other out, leaving x equals, and on the right, 16 divided by 100 is 0.16. So 0.16 is 0.4% of 40. Now let's flip the problem around. What if you know the part and the percent, but not the whole? 15 is 30% of what number? We'll use the variable x to represent the whole. Now we can set up our proportion. We'll write 30% as the ratio 30 over 100. Then, using is over of, our ratio representing part to whole is 15 over x. We'll use cross multiplication to solve for x. 100 times 15 is 1500, and x times 30 is 30x. To solve for x, we'll divide each side by 30. The 30s cancel each other out, leaving x equals, and 1500 divided by 30 is 50. So 15 is 30% of 50. Let's do another one. 36 is 0.9% of what number? We'll use the variable x again to represent the word of, or the whole. Now we're ready to set up our proportion. 36 over x equals 0.9 over 100. Using cross multiplication again to solve for x. 100 times 36 is 3600, and x times 0.9 is 0.9x. To solve for x, we'll divide each side by 0.9. The 0.9s cancel each other out, leaving x equals, and 3600 divided by 0.9 is 4000. So 36 is 0.9% of 4000. Finally, let's find the percent when we know the part and the whole. What percent of 25 is 12? We'll use the variable x to represent the percent. Using is over of, our first ratio in the proportion is 12 over 25, equal to the percent x over 100. We could use cross multiplication to solve for x, but since 25 is a factor of 100, it's easier to use an equivalent fraction instead. 25 times 4 is 100, so we'll multiply 12 by 4 as well to get 48%. So 48% of 25 is 12. One more to go. 14 is what percent of 56? We'll use x again to represent the percent. When setting up the proportion, it doesn't matter which ratio you write first. This time, I'm choosing to write the ratio for the missing percent first, x over 100. Then, using is over of, I'll write the ratio 14 over 56. Let's use cross multiplication to solve for x. 56 times x is 56x, and 100 times 14 is 1400. To solve for x, we'll divide each side by 56. The 56's cancel each other out, leaving x equals, and 1400 divided by 56 is 25%. So 14 is 25% of 56. When solving percent problems, remember, set up the proportion as is over of equals percent over 100. Decide if you're solving for the part, the whole, or the percent. And use multiplication or cross products to solve. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you out. Until next time, keep math awesome.